Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Drew Johnson Experience from the Road. Today I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where I'll be taking delivery of an iconic vehicle with a muscly V8 engine. And if you know anything about cars, you know that Bowling Green is home to America's sports car, the Chevrolet Corvette. So naturally, I came all the way down here to buy Japan's Range Rover, this Toyota Land Cruiser. Admittedly, buying a used Toyota isn't as exciting as taking delivery of a supercharged Corvette, but I am thrilled to have a Land Cruiser of my very own. I've been lusting after one of these 200 series Land Cruisers for years, and they finally depreciated to the point where I don't have to sell a kidney to afford one. Just in case you're not up on your Land Cruiser lingo, the 200 series refers to the current generation of the Land Cruiser, which actually debuted back in 2008. But since Toyota can't be bothered to make a new Land Cruiser, you can buy one from a decade ago and still look like you're driving around in a brand new car. But even though all 200 series Land Cruisers look pretty much the same, they aren't equipped the same. In 2013, Toyota updated the Land Cruiser with some nice features like cooled seats, adaptive cruise control, and an updated infotainment system. Newer Land Cruisers have even more convenience features, but the 2013 model has pretty much everything you'd expect in a modern vehicle. The 2013 model year is also the sweet spot for the Land Cruiser in terms of price and mileage. At this point, early 200 models can be had for around $20,000, but they all seem to have around 200,000 miles. And if you want the newest used Land Cruiser, you're still looking at a price tag of about $60,000. Meanwhile, these 2013 models seem to have between 80 and 120,000 miles and go for the same price as a lightly optioned Chevrolet Traverse. Those factors ultimately led me to this 2013 Land Cruiser. This is a two-owner example that's been maintained exclusively at Toyota dealerships, and it's covered just 116,000 miles, which is the equivalent of 16,000 miles in any kind of regular car. And I paid just over $33,000 for all of this Land Cruiser goodness. That is a valid question considering I don't live on top of a mountain, but I do have a couple of reasonable answers. The first is that my last two daily drivers have been Chrysler products, which is just another way of saying that I sometimes had to walk to where I was going. The first of those two cars was a 2006 Dodge Magnum RT that, despite its play school grade interior, I loved dearly. That is, until it started to go into limp home mode randomly and other times would just shut off completely. Needing a car quickly, I traded in the Magnum on a Durango I found on a used car lot. Basically, I just needed something to tide me over that was inexpensive, three-row, and had good tech, and the Durango perfectly fit the bill. The Durango actually has been a fairly reliable vehicle. During my 2 years of ownership, I've only had to replace a failed thermostat, but you can just tell that this was made by the kind of people that love to use the phrase, "that'll do." For starters, this car had plenty of squeaks and rattles when I bought it with just 70,000 miles on the clock. But on the upside, the Durango is a really simple vehicle, so I was able to fix those annoyances with some rolled up tape and some little rubber stickers. But there was a longer list of things I couldn't fix, like this air vent that refuses to stay in the dash, a central locking system that randomly unlocks on its own, and something in the driveline that allows the vehicle to lurch forward a couple inches when it started on a decline. In a nutshell, I wanted the polar opposite of my Chrysler ownership experience, which led me to the Land Cruiser because it's known the world over for never going wrong. Another selling point of the Land Cruiser is that, like the Durango, it has good tech and 3 rows of seating. And as a bonus, it's really comfortable to drive, and it's a truly special vehicle. The Land Cruiser is one of the few go-anywhere vehicles on the market today, and Toyota only sells a handful of these every year, so I'm not going to be passing myself all the time on the road. Fuel economy isn't stellar at 13 miles per gallon in the city and 18 miles per gallon on the highway, but it's not like I was doing better with my Hemi V8. In the Durango, I consistently averaged about 12 miles per gallon. The 5.7-liter V8 under hood may not provide very good fuel economy, but it does give the Land Cruiser snappy performance. Despite weighing 6,000 pounds, this will go from 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. That really is quicker than it ought to be. I'd love to build this into a cool overlanding vehicle with a big lift and a winch on the front, but this is going to be the family truckster, so I'm going to be reasonable and keep it mostly stock. After all, one of the main selling points of the Land Cruiser was its reliability, and I don't want to muck that up with a bunch of aftermarket parts. But that being said, I've never been one to leave well enough alone, so I will be doing some minor tinkering. The first thing I'm going to do is remove these pant soilers that Toyota calls running boards. That should not only help keep my laundry looking cleaner for longer, but it should also make the cruiser look a lot cooler. And while we're on the topic of looking cool, I'm also planning to swap out these all-season tires for a set of BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires. Now that change won't be purely cosmetic because the KO2s are actually a better year-round tire since they're winter rated. So there it is, my new to me 2013 Toyota Land Cruiser. I really don't have any grand plans for this truck, but I'll probably end up taking it off-road at some point. And if you've got a better idea of what I should do with this Land Cruiser, be sure to leave a comment below. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna bask in the Land Cruiser's reliability and comfort. Thanks for watching.